Perimeter and area of rectangles. Okay, so first I'm going to talk about perimeter and how to find it. Then I'm going to talk about the area of rectangles. Most of this should be review, but we're just going to review these concepts in order to do some more complicated things later. Okay, so why would you need perimeter? Well, say like you have a soccer field and you need to paint the boundaries of the soccer field and you want to figure out how much paint you're going to be using for the outside. Well, you could use perimeter. Another example, if you have a yard and you want to put fence around your yard to keep it away from the neighbors, you need to figure out how much wood you're going to need and how much fencing you're going to need to put around your yard. Okay, so how do we find perimeter? Go ahead and title your notes perimeter and an area of rectangles. I'm going to go ahead and talk about perimeter first. So, perimeter. Okay, so what perimeter is it's the distance around the outside of a shape. And to find perimeter, all you do is you add up all the distances around. Okay? So I will do some examples. Go ahead and copy down these examples first before we do them. Okay? And here we're trying to find the perimeter of each shape. In this example, we have a triangle, and this triangle has the lengths of the sides 9 centimeters, 5 centimeters, and 11 centimeters. All you're going to do to find the perimeter is to add up the sides. So I'm going to start with 9 centimeters, so 9 centimeters plus 5 centimeters plus 11 centimeters. And when you add those all together, you get 25 centimeters. So your perimeter, or your answer, is 25 centimeters. Don't forget the units. The units are very important because without the units, I won't know what the measure is or how big you're talking about. Say like we have a rectangle here, and the height of this rectangle is 3 centimeters and the width is 8 centimeters. Now in order for me to be able to do the perimeter, I have to know the distance of all the sides. But since I know this is a rectangle, I know that this side is 8 centimeters, so it makes this side 8 centimeters. And since this side is 3 centimeters, it makes this side 3 centimeters. Okay? Again, to find the perimeter, I'm going to add up all the sides. And I'm going to start from the 3 centimeters and work my way around. So I'm going to do 3 centimeters plus 8 centimeters plus 3 centimeters plus 8 centimeters. And I get, see, 3 plus 8 plus 3 plus 8 is 22 centimeters. So my answer is 22 centimeters. So now we're going to talk about area of rectangles / squares. Now pretend I have this bedroom, and my bedroom has lots of hardwood floor, but I decided I didn't like the hardwood floor anymore and I wanted to cover it with carpet. What I would do is I would use area to figure out how much carpet to cover my bedroom in. Or for example, if I were a farmer and I had a set number of plants that I wanted, or a set number of crops that I wanted to grow, I would have to figure out how much area or how much land I would need in order to grow that set number of crops. So what area is the amount of surface covered by a figure or a shape. The way that you find area is by this simple formula. You do base of a figure times the height of the figure. And what I mean by base and height are this. Base usually indicates the length of the bottom of a figure, and height usually indicates how tall a figure is. And on a rectangle, it doesn't really matter which one the base and the height is. You're simply multiplying the two sides. Alright? So let's do an example with a square and an example with a rectangle. Okay? Go ahead and copy down these two examples on your paper. Pause your video, and then when you're done copying these, you can start the video over again. You can start the video again. Excuse me. So we have these two figures. We have a square and we have a rectangle, and we want to find the area of these figures. Okay? Again, the formula for area is base times height. And with the square, the base is the same thing as the height. So this makes our lives a little easier. So the area of the square is simply the base, which is 9 feet, times the height, which, as we can see from this diagram, is also 9 feet. We multiply these two things together, we get 81. And then it's 81 feet. And since we're multiplying feet by feet, we actually get feet squared. Okay. Same thing here. Area of this rectangle is the same formula, base times height. The base we see right here is 15. The height is 10 feet. That's how tall this rectangle is. When we multiply those two things together, we get 150 feet. And since there are 2 feet that we're multiplying together, it actually becomes feet squared. Okay? And that's all that there is to area of rectangles and squares. So I want you to take what you learned. Make sure your notes are put into the notes section of your binder. And go ahead and go to your packet and do the problems on page 20 and page 21.